Non c'è rien. Okay. Hello everyone again. Today we are going to start this graphic journaling class. For those who are not coming from the Patreon page, maybe those who catch the replay or before we often we are used to have the class the second Sunday of the month, but this time we needed to reschedule because I had a surgery, and the class was the day before my surgery, and I was traveling to Paris, and with the strikes my train was, I was on the road while the timing of the class. But preparing this class, I had this idea of the theme. I don't know if some of you read about this on the Patreon, the post I did maybe 3 weeks ago, and it was about being afraid of being happy. Being afraid of joy. We are going to see that the theme switched a little, but before we dive into class, as usual, I advise you to take your journal, put it in front of you, take your pens or your favorite material, gather it together, and so they are ready to go. But before we start drawing, the roulement, I don't know, the routine of the starting the class is that we are going to have a small meditation, a small grounding, recentering time, just to forget about the Zoom and password problem we had right before, and also like to maybe cut a little bit the attention of all the things that are happening around, and just come back to this space and taking this time for ourselves, for our graphic journaling practice. And right after the meditation, I will ask you to do a very small self-portrait exercise. So for those who are here in class, most of you know, but for the people who didn't come, for who is the first time, what we do is often we click on ourselves on the Zoom, on our face, so that we use the Zoom as a mirror. Or for those who catch the replay, you can go in front of a mirror. But we will take some moment to draw a self-portrait, and then we'll explain you after how to do it. But small things I want to say before we start is that the journal, the graphic journal, is your own personal space. It's your space of creativity and total freedom. So maybe you will do, but we try not to judge what we draw. There is no good or bad drawing. So if you do the Sistine Chapel, or if you do the biggest sheet you ever seen, the result is the same, because in order to continue your graphic journaling practice, you will need to turn the page. So the good drawing or the bad drawing, they will happen to be in the whole page, and you will need a brand new page to start. So it's not like you are doing something to show to people, or you can show your graphic journal if you want, but it's like you are in the gym and you're running on the treadmill, and maybe you are sweaty, maybe you are dressed not very fancy, but it's like your own personal training. So we are going to draw exercise and drawing and writing, and we will always have a timer. So as long as the timer goes, you continue the exercise. So even if it's difficult, you know that in a moment the timer will ring and will stop the suffering. Okay, so before we start all this, I'm going to ask you to come into a comfortable position, and you can sit with the spine straight. You can relax the shoulder, maybe wiggle a little bit to find a comfortable position, to move your butt on the chair, to make a shape to settle in. And if you feel comfortable, close the eyes. If you don't, just opt for a soft gaze. Just look down to your feet or to your knees and relax your eyelid without closing the eyes, but relax your eyes. And now we are going to feel our arm like very relaxed, let your arm fall and your hands rest wherever they fall. Maybe you have your hands in your lap. Maybe you do a little cup with one hand and the other hand is in it. Maybe your hands are on your thighs or your knees. Wherever your hands are resting, we are going to use this point of contact to bring our consciousness, our awareness into this place. We are going to feel the inside of our hands and the outside. What is the point of contact? Is it the palm? Is it the other side? Is it hot or fresh? Maybe you feel your hand a little bit sweaty. Every time you feel the urge to wiggle or to push, to move, try not to. Try just to observe the information of wanting to move without acting on it. Now we are going to move the awareness and the consciousness from the inside of the hand to the thighs or to the lap, to the place our hands are resting. And we are going to feel the shift of this little heat from the hand to our thighs. And maybe we can expand this heat, warm, conscious sensation into our thighs and our hands, to our forearms, and maybe to our elbows. We can scan up to our arms, and we can feel this arm and shoulder from the inside. Try to feel the warmth and the heat energy circulating. Your blood is moving and your skin is warm. And then from the shoulder, try to irradiate this warm feeling of bringing your consciousness into your body. Try to irradiate to the back of the neck, the back of the shoulder. You can help yourself by inhaling and exhaling every time you decide where you want your consciousness to go. Maybe you can direct the inhaling into this part of the body. Inhaling in the back of the shoulder and exhaling to relax. And we are going to move a little bit more. We are going to inhale in the front of the shoulder, the chest, the heart. Exhaling, relax a little bit. And moving up to our throat. The consciousness moving up, inhaling into your throat, and exhaling to relax. One more time, bring the consciousness in the face, feel the back of your face, inhaling it. Exhale to relax the face. Leave your skin of the face hanging and going up. Inhale into the inside of your head, feeling the consciousness and the heat and the warmth relaxing your scalp, and exhale. And exhale, exhale, exhale. Make the top of your head relax. Your hair are relaxing. And now we are going to make a consciousness shower. We are going to inhale and following our consciousness from the inside of our body. And we are going to feel the inside of the head, the face, the neck, the shoulder, and exhale. Relax all this. And then inhale into the arm, into the chest. Inhale into the belly. And then exhale, relax all this. One more time, inhale into the hips, the thighs, the knees, and then relax all this while exhaling. One last time, inhale through the calves, the ankle and the feet, and feel all this and exhale. Sorry. Notice, how do you feel? The warm feeling of making your consciousness run through the body. And now maybe we can set a little intention of stays into our body during the whole class. And when you feel like it, maybe you can start moving a little bit your shoulder, your hips, your butt on the chair. Slowly open the eyes, maybe moving your hands a little bit. And when you feel like, take the next new page on your graphic journal. And in this new page, we are going to look at ourselves in the screen of the Zoom, or maybe you can go in front of a mirror if you are not catching the live class. And I'm going to put a timer. And I want to draw your self-portrait. You can choose if you want to only do the face or maybe up to the shoulder, and keep this feeling we had during the meditation while drawing, and you will draw what you see, but also maybe you can put the colors of this sensation of bringing the awareness into the body. This is the reason maybe you can go a little bit down. I don't know if while the meditation you felt bringing the consciousness into this part of the body as a light or as a color or as a shape. Let's fix the memory of this meditation into this self-portrait in a very quick way. You can draw your face with detail. You can draw your face very simple, as long as you remember the feeling of staying into your body. You can also maybe go a little bit further and maybe draw your full body. This is up to you. It's your journal, so you do what you want to do. I'm going to put a little 2-minute timer. Let's go. Maybe you can draw yourself eyes closed, like when we were doing the meditation. You don't need to do some figurative. You can go abstract, as long as you understand what you're drawing. And if it's too much abstract, what you can do is you can use also words to write down how does it feels to bring the awareness into the body. Maybe you can take another color to just draw inside the shape of your body, the movement of this exercise, the feeling, the shapes. Maybe you can highlight with a different color the point of contact of your hand and where the hand was, if you're drawing this part of your body, just to remember from where part of the body the meditation started. Okay, you can take your time if you need to wrap it up. While you finish your self-portrait, maybe I can explain to you a little bit the theme of this class. So you can do this divided attention exercise in which you draw your inside and then also you listen from the exterior. Because as I was saying before, the other day I make a post into the Patreon page in which I was announcing that my graphic novel came out. We was about to came out in Italy, and I couldn't enjoy this moment because I only could think about the thing that, yes, my book was coming out in Italian. Yes, it finally came out in French this summer, but all I could think of is that I couldn't find a publisher to translate it in English. And I got like, and so I wrote this on Patreon saying, maybe I'm thinking about this only because I want to make a sabotage of my happiness, instead of being happy of something that is coming out and being, how do you say in English, being grateful. I want to find the bad things just in order to cultivate the sadness. And so my initial thought was, okay, maybe we can do a class about this, about being afraid of joy. But then the more I think about this, even if I write this, the more I think about this, and the more I thought, sorry. Oh, okay. The more I think about this, and the more it felt strange, because it's like I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm not able to enjoy life without sabotaging myself with the sadness or the guilt. Maybe I'm not able to enjoy joy without the guilt, without the sadness. And so the more I thought about this, and I say, okay, I have to prepare a class about this theme. And the more I felt the guilt of feeling guilt. It was like how do you call in English? It's like the vicious circle. It makes sense. Okay, I was like, okay, I need to prepare a class of with not afraid of enjoy life. The class about being happy and not being sad. And the more I felt the bad feeling, the more I tried to push them away, because I wanted to make a class like positive. And the more I felt the sadness and the guilt of feeling sad and guilty. And this feels not very good. I don't know if you ever did this, but it doesn't feel good, because it and maybe some people would say, okay, maybe you do this because you don't enjoy good feeling, because you have the fear of joy, the fear of success. But the more I felt this, and the more I thought that this idea of putting on someone, you can't be happy because you have the fear of success, felt like bullshit to me. Felt very, for me, was like, okay, so keep me in a guilt circle, in a guilt carousel from which I couldn't jump off. And also because put like the blame on the person who feel the feeling. For example, for me, it was like, oh, okay, maybe I can't publish my book in English because I have fear of being happy. Maybe I'm not able to find an English publisher because I have the fear of the success, or and so I say to myself while preparing the class that I wanted to do a class in the opposite way. I wanted to prepare a class today in which we celebrate the fear and we celebrate the sadness, and not because I'm a Cancerian. So the title of this class will be more not at the beginning it was don't be afraid to enjoy joy, but the title of this class actually will be Fear is Cool and Sadness is Cool even more. But what is not cool because fear and sadness are just feelings, but what is not cool is one, pretending. Justine says goth. Yes, I never be gothic, but I'm turning gothic with age. No, but what is not cool? There are two things that aren't cool. One is pretending we haven't fear or sadness in order to stay positive, in order to positive thinking. And what is not cool is thinking that the fear and the sadness is who we are, and that we'll never be joyful because we don't deserve, or because the fear and the sadness will stay forever. So what is cool is not the feeling are just feelings, but what is not cool is what we do with them. And what we do with them may cause more pain and suffering than the feeling itself. Does it make sense? This, or is it good? I'm not sure if it will make sense for you, but I prepare some exercise to train ourselves to don't judge those feelings. So, first exercise, we are just going to make a list. So I'm saying this for Alessandra, for who is the first time. Often when we do the journaling exercise, we draw, but also we write. But when we write, you can choose the form of writing you prefer when you answer to an exercise. But what is maybe more quick is like doing I call it the grocery shopping list. So when you have a question, then you answer, we will put a timer, and then you answer like until the timer don't go off. You write a shopping list of the question. It's not a shopping, but a feeling list. And even at the beginning, you say, I don't have nothing to say. No, it's okay. You just go write even things that seems not very important. And then your end, when keep going, then the flow of thoughts will come on the page. I guess that I see there is some, okay, I'm sharing a message from Tom relating a lot to the fear of joy. Thank you for sharing your story. I think this class is okay, exactly what you need right now. Maybe I shouldn't read it out loud, but it's done. Okay, so prepare your grocery shopping list, and we are going to put 2 minutes in which we are going to list all the things we do without judging, without trying to make it prettier, making more wise. Just, it's only for you, this list. Write down all the things, action or behavior, things you do when you try to escape fear or sadness, or I use these two because often they are like a big umbrella for other. I can also say maybe, what do you do when you want to escape an uncomfortable feeling? Of course, probably in the moment you escape the feeling, maybe you don't know that you are trying to escape the feeling, but when you look at things you do, behavior you do, and maybe now you say, maybe I did this because I didn't want to feel that, or does it make sense if I ask you to do a list of, okay, no judgment, right until the end of the timer. Let's go. all the things we do when we try to escape fear of sadness. Maybe also things you did in the past that now you don't do anymore, but you recognize you did these kind of things. Okay, 15 seconds to go. Try to don't stop writing, even if it's very past things. Okay, so this list you have, sometimes there are things that are fun, sometimes there are things that maybe you regret doing, but the thing is, sometimes those things you do, sometimes they work. Maybe there are coping mechanisms to don't feel the feeling that work, sometimes not, but the only sure thing is that for all your life, sadness, fear, uncomfortable emotion, we will always come back. Even if you are, I don't know, this is the purpose of life. So maybe today we can try to make peace with this, with the fact that you can't escape. It's like a horror movie. You can escape if you want, but those feelings will always come back. So I say that for today we are going to work on the sadness and on the fear. Maybe then you can do with other feelings that are uncomfortable for you. But for starting, we are going to need to do 2 portraits. So it depends by the size of your journal. We will need to have 2 square, 2 rectangle, or in which inside we will need to do 2 drawing. Or if your journal is not big enough, maybe you will need to do 1 in 1 page and then 1 in the other, because I want you to have the space to really put all this here. The first portrait we want to do is the portrait of our fear. So how does your fear, your feeling of being afraid, if you would make it like a yokai or like a phantom or a character. So I don't want you to draw I don't know, I'm fear of snake, and then you draw a snake. Maybe your fear can have a head of a snake, but I don't want it to be the fear. I want it to be a character. Okay, so we are going to take 2 minutes. Maybe it's not enough. Maybe we are going to take 3 minutes to draw the best portrait of our fear. So when this character arrives, we are afraid, and we try to do all the things we listed in the exercise before. Okay, how does your fear look like? Let's go. And listen, I don't know, trust the image that come to your brain, because your brain will send you the image to draw this character. So let your imagination flowing, all the image you see, you can put it on paper. If it's difficult, maybe you can use also a little bit of words. And it's okay to feel also not comfortable while doing this drawing, but always feel the buttocks on your chair, and remember yourself that even if you are making the portrait of your fear, you are still safe. Okay, 1 minute to go. Okay, was the time enough? A little bit. Do you want me to add maybe 30 seconds? Maybe I can add 30 seconds. Let's go. Maybe if you finish the drawing, you can add some words, maybe some words that your fear may say to you. And then we are going to take the same time, and we are going to go to the next page, to the next space. and we are going to make the portrait of our sadness. So what is the shape and the form and of the character that represent our sadness? So it's not very fun. It's not a very fun place to connect to our how do you say, to our inner eye, to our imagination, visualization of drawing the fear or drawing the sadness. So I reckon that maybe not the most fulfilling feeling, but bear with me because we are going to go look for how does it feel after. So even if it's sad, drawing your sadness, do it, don't run away, because this space, this class, this moment, it's safe, and we are here for doing this. Okay, so you can do it. And I'm putting maybe 4 minutes now. Let's go, the sadness. And also 4 minutes, it's like, even if it's very difficult, you know that in a moment the timer will go off and you will be, okay. So hang in there.
I'm sorry, but the sound cut off for me, so I don't know what portrait we're drawing now.
The portrait of your sadness, okay? So maybe it's not fun to go connect with this image, with this character, to let this character show it themselves to us, but bear with the exercise, because in a moment, at the moment, the timer will go off, and so the purpose of this exercise is actually don't run away from this feeling, but connect to this feeling. Okay. Maybe you can add colors, shapes of colors. Maybe you can add words. If you have words that pop up to your mind while you are trying to connect with your sadness. Okay, 1 minute and a half to go. I don't say this to rush you, but just to, if it's difficult, but know that stay with the feeling, and know that there is an end to this. Okay. So, how do you feel? Maybe not the best after drawing this. Cool. No. The thing is that every time I guess I talk about this a lot, about the positive thinking, positive culture, think positive, how do you say, the manifesting now is very, very fashionable to say you need to send a vibration to the universe, because when you vibrate to the universe into a feeling, the feeling come back. And there is a lot of fashionable influencer or a yoga teacher that are all about this manifesting. You have to vibrate to the universe. So I can't wrap my hand around this, because it's like, for most people, it's like, okay, if I vibrate, I have fear, so I have fear and I vibrate to the universe, the fear, what happened? Universe send me back fear. So like, I'm afraid, the universe vibrate with my fear and then send me a ghost. I'm not sure that works like this. And it's also like very, very scary. A lot of, in French, there is this charge mental, a lot of mental charge of saying, okay, I always need to vibrate the good feeling, because if I don't vibrate, then this come back to me, and then I'm dead. I think it's very, very scary for me. So I would like to let's do a drawing game. Let's take a moment. And what we are going to do is, on the next page, on the same page, you will need to do two sections of the page. You have section 1 and section 2. So you just divide your page and you put number 1 at the top and number 2 at the bottom. And we are going to do a little drawing game. In section 1, we are going to draw, what do you say in English? A vignetta, a cartoon, a little scene. And we are in the section 1, we are going to draw ourselves wrestling, fighting with the fear we just draw. Okay, so we are going, I see Justine doing like this. Yes, we are going to draw ourselves in the act of fighting this fear. Okay, and I want you to imagine the character that represents yourself as a balloon that shout, you know, when you do the comics and then there is like this, when you yell, and it's the word that your character is saying is like, shut up, and you fight with this fear that you just draw. I don't care if you're not drawing the end of the fight. I don't know if you win or the fear win, doesn't matter. Just the act of engaging into a fight with this fear. Okay? So, 4 minutes, maybe it's too much, 3 minutes, and then maybe we add one more. Okay? So, let's take a moment and let's draw ourselves wrestling with the fear we just draw. And we are yelling, shut up, or we are in a, you know, like, I don't want you here. We are fighting the fear. Let's go. And of course, we yell and the character we draw respond. So it's like a fight. We don't know the outcome. Okay, we are halfway through.
Oh.
Elisa,
Hi, ciao.
non sei riuscita a connetterti prima, ho visto adesso che avevi lasciato, avevi provato con la password love?
Non la sapevo, non la sapevo. L'ho scoperta adesso. Vabbè, io provo, se posso partecipare, provo un pochino.
Allora, mentre loro disegnano, allora stiamo, I just take a minute to fill in on Elisa. I hope that maybe you can mute me if you are drawing for this time, so I can explain to Elisa. E stiamo lavorando su, in English, so we are working on the fact that we all often we try to escape a feeling. So before we draw the portrait of our fear and the portrait of our sadness. Now they are doing a little cartoon in which they fight their fear. Maybe what you can do now until the end of the timer is you can take this minute to draw your sadness. Okay, just okay. Take this minute and draw the character that represents your sadness. Go. Okay, 30 seconds to go. Okay, 15 seconds to go. Let's fight. Okay. Okay. Just a moment, 6, 7. Ah, ok. Sorry, I just okay, now what we are going to do is like sorry, Elisa, I make you draw the sadness but maybe you can also draw the fear. I make you draw. Maybe you could take the time also draw your fear as a character, if you can, Elisa.
Yes,
and then I
okay.
will. Okay,
Thank you.
and then maybe you can ask me in the chat. So sorry. Okay, so now what we are going to do, because I have a doubt. Sorry, just let me take me. I'm going to take 1 second to decide if I change the exercise or not. Okay, sorry. Maybe we are going to do the second exercise. Okay, no, sorry, Elisa. I tried to change to make it for you, but if I
No,
change the
don't
order, it will
worry.
be.
Don't worry for me, really.
Okay.
Go,
Okay.
go. Yes.
Okay. So
Thank you.
now, Elisa, if you finished to draw also your sadness, maybe you want to draw in a page yourself fighting with the sadness, a little cartoon, una vignetta in which you fight with the sadness. This is only for Elisa that arrived late. So sorry, I'm just trying to bring her up to our time. And for you, the other, what I would like you to do is in the section number 2, I would like you to draw. So let's take a deep breath. And now let's draw ourselves making space and welcoming this monster of fear that, that you draw. And like now, what I would like you to say in the little cartoon you have to draw, the little scene is, before was shut up, was a fight, and now it's what's the matter? It's like I don't know if it's a correct in English, but it's like a question that you say to someone that you love that is upset. Your lover, your parent, your kid, your dog. It's like, what's the matter? Qu'est-ce c'è che non va? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a qui va pas? Donc, ça, c'est la phrase que vous devez dire à votre peur, et je veux vous dessiner en étant en train, je parle français, I would like you to draw yourself being, welcoming this fear. Like this monster, instead of fighting, is like somebody you love so much that is in a very bad condition. I don't know, imagine your best friend that have an accident, or I don't know, it come home and has hair like this, and it's like, very, very anger. You don't fight because it's your best friend. So maybe you're like, what's the matter? Do you want a tea? Sit down, sit on the couch. I bring you a glass of water. Tell me, okay? So I want you to draw this scene. So it's you with your fear, okay? Let's go. Timer. 1 minute 20 to go. And try to see this scene, to feel, maybe you have words to write down, and feel the feeling of seeing this monster and be really interested in what they have to say about this anger they have about this girl. Okay, how are you? And Elisa, did you draw the fight?
Yes.
Okay, now you are doing, start now, do another little vignetta in which instead of fighting, you take this fear that comes and this sadness or this fear, I don't remember, and welcoming as is a friend of you that is not very good, and you have to welcome in the place. For the others, I would like to know which one or the two scene you just draw. So you have scene one, the fight, scene two, the welcoming. Which one make more noise for the neighbor? The one in which we don't want we are for the people out. If you are in a room and you fight with this fear, and in the other you welcome this fear, which one make more, like you have neighbors that listen, which one, or I call it neighbor, but I can say vibration to the universe, which one send more impulse, the one in which we don't want the fear and we fight the fear, or the one in which we welcome the fear? The one or the two? The one. So we can say that we can't, is just because we welcome a negative feeling doesn't mean that we send to the universe the wrong vibration. This was the thing, is it's more the one in which we fight as more repercussion on the external than the one in which we sit down with the hot cocoa and listen to what happened. Does it make sense? For example, 2 days ago, at the end, my book, the thing is that always we come to the same. I was saying at the beginning of the class that I was like not wanting the sadness, because I wanted to be happy because my book are going to get out, but it wasn't in English and blah, blah, blah. And then I said, okay, maybe it's not what it is to don't have the being afraid of being happy, as we said until this. And then life send you some example. And what happened is that finally my book came out in Italian, and they had there is a huge mistake in the printing. There is one page that is out of the place. And so it's like on one page, the drawing is all down and you can't read because they made the graphic designer made an error. And I was starting again. so disappointed. But this time, I instead of saying, okay, maybe I just have to look at the positive thing, I totally dig into the negative. I just stay in bed with my book like this, like this. And maybe for people around me, it wasn't very funny. But for me, for the first time in my life, it felt good because I went to the bottom of the not being happy with something. And it felt good because I wasn't happy with this. Doesn't mean that I'm not happy with the rest. It's just like I stay with it and now I feel good about this. I forgot. So what we are going to do is we are going to do the same exercise we did with the fear. We are going to do with the sadness, but don't get ahead of you. Go to a new page, divide it in two, mark number 1, first section, and number 2. And now we are going to take 3 minutes of drawing what the first section will be. So the character is the sadness, okay? And what does your sadness do when you try to escape them, okay? So in this little cartoon, in this little scene you're drawing, you actively try to hide or escape from sadness. And the sadness you draw before the character, you are going to draw this character that, I don't know, what does the character when you try to escape? Does it make sense? Okay, Elisa, maybe you can do it too because you already draw your sadness. So now you are going to draw yourself trying to escape your sadness. And what does the sadness do? It's a little cartoon. Let's go. 3 minutes. What, 1 minute 40 to go? Forty seconds to go. Okay, so now we are going adding to section 2, and we still have a few exercise. Maybe we will be a little bit like 10 minutes late, if it's okay for you, since we start a little bit late. So now let's go to second section, and you know about what's happening. It's now we are going to draw a little cartoon in which we are going to wonder what will happen if we stay with our sadness. And so you are going to draw yourself, and you stay for your sadness instead of go hiding, and you have to say this word into a balloon of the cartoon, and you have to say, okay, I'm here. Okay, it's like a friend, or it's like, I'm here for you, I'm here to listen, I'm here, I'm present. Okay, let's go, 3 minutes. Okay, 1 minute 20 to go. Thirty seconds to go. Okay. Oof. We are going to stay in this momentum. Maybe drink a sip of water if you have. Inhale, hold, and exhale. I'm going to put a timer right away because I want you to turn the page. And while you are still in this mood of drawing this scene and those plays, we talk about this, like you can see probably when you observe a scene from the outside, when you fight, it's a big mess. When you welcome, the energy is more calm. Probably when you also in this past exercise, when you try to hide from the sadness, you are a victim of the sadness. You have probably the sadness that you can't hide the sadness. It's like Terminator. But maybe when you stop and turn and look at your sadness and you say, I'm here, probably, maybe tell me if I'm wrong, probably the scene you draw is way more calm, is way more pleasurable, pleasant. So we stay in this mood because next page, I want to draw very fast, or how this place in which you can allow yourself to welcome this sadness or welcome this fear. How does it feels and looks like? So it doesn't have to be a room. Maybe it's a symbol, maybe it's a color, maybe it's someplace. Ask your inner eye to send you some symbols. The first image you see is your inner space, the one in which you are safe to welcome the feeling. Maybe you just draw yourself in a room, or maybe it's just a feeling, maybe it's just the nature, I don't know. But I would like you to make this, maybe it's a little bit abstract, but I want you to fix, to make it real, this place in which you can turn, and instead of running away from the fear, turn and say, I'm here. Or this place in which you can turn to your fear and say, what's the matter? Okay, so maybe you want to write in this, now in this space we are going to draw. On the top you can write what's the matter. On the top, on the bottom you can write I'm here. So these two phrases we use to welcome the feeling is just a reminder. Okay, what's the matter? I'm here. And in the middle, you are going to draw this place, a symbol that, or maybe yourself, something that can be used as an anchor to your consciousness to remember that this is possible. Okay, 3 minutes, go. Sorry. Maybe it's a physical posture that you had in these drawings. Maybe some shapes. Maybe the word, you have some words that pop to your mind and you want to write them. One minute to go. 36 seconds to go. Okay, now we draw. We still will have 4 little questions you will have to answer in list, and then a final little drawing to draw our as we often do the drawing we do to put on our lock screen of the telephone to remember this class during the whole month and practice this. So 4 questions. First question of 4 will be, you can turn the page, and then you can, as usual, answer writing as writing, or to go faster can be the grocery shopping list, like this. Concentrate, drink a sip of water, because I would like you to scan the past. In the past, when we did escape this place of welcoming, when we did run away from those feelings. For example, the things we write down in the first exercise, the things we do to run away from feelings. Now that we observe a little bit more all around this, I would like you to write down when we did escape this place of welcoming in the past. So when in the past we did escape the negative feeling, we didn't want to cope with fear and sadness, how this attitude influenced our mood, our life, in the moment it happened and even after it. So these things we do to escape the negative feeling, how influenced our life. If you can make example in this list. Does it make sense, the question? Okay, so 2 minutes.
We have to make a list.
You can, yes, you can
Write
make a list, or you can write. The one is easier for you. For me, for example, it's easier to make the list, so I catch the memory before it goes away. I did this and I did this and I did this. I make the list, because if I take the time of, I remember the time, and I make a sentence, the memory goes away. But maybe for others, it doesn't work the same, but you do what you feel more similar. Okay, go. Also, because when you do the list, you just write down what comes to your mind with no question asked. You just write down, and then you will have a moment to, at the end of the class or maybe in the week, to reread your answer, to observe what you answer. But for now, get your memory going. Okay, 26 seconds. Okay, now the other question will be, knowing that we have a safe inner space from where we can welcome the feelings. So is the space we draw, is what we saw in the past exercise. Knowing that we can do this, how this will affect our future. So in this question, I want you to take a moment and in some way, you just put the intention out into your brain, into your mind, of connect yourself with your soul or with your consciousness or with your subconscious, I don't know. It's like, okay, I want to know, I ask the question and all the image and word that pop to my mind will be the answer. So we don't judge, we just write down what comes to our mind, but it's like we are going to see, like in your head, you have a crystal ball, you know, and then we ask to this crystal ball, how, knowing that we are safe, we have a safe space to welcome feeling, how this will affect in the future, how these have repercussion in how we approach things in the future and how we use our behavior, have behavior in the future. Okay, does it make sense? The question? Okay, let's go. 2 minutes. Let's see our crystal ball in our mind. Let's read the future. You can also write this list and start each phrase with I will, blah, 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 I will, blah, 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 if you want. Or I can. Or so I know how, I can, I. Twenty seconds to go. Okay, now the next 2 questions will be, as we all often do, will be one first list we have to do, and then the second answer, the second question, the answer will be completing the list we just did. So for, no, Elisa, you already done this in class, I guess, but maybe Alessandra, when we do our list and then we have a second question, and for each item of the list, we do a little freccia, a little, I don't know, arrows, and then we answer. So the first question will be, maybe you can stay on the left of your page, and then the second question on the right of your page. So we are going to sorry. Okay, so the thing is, as we said before, it will happen for sure, 100%, that we will not always be able to welcome the feeling. It's not because we decide that we want to welcome the feeling and be in a place that we are like Dalai Lama, or I don't know who's the perfect human. I'm not sure. I guess there is no perfect human, but it will always happen that sometimes you don't want to feel the sadness. Sometimes you don't want to welcome the fear. You just want to run away from sadness and go get drunk, or you want to run away from fear and open the fridge and binge eating, or I don't know. These are the things maybe I can do. But the thing is, we are here to observe and don't judge, even when we don't do the things that make us feel good, but we do things make us feel bad. It happens, okay? So when can we imagine, for example, those times that will arrive for sure, in which we will not be able to welcome the uncomfortable feeling? I want you to write down a list of things, of what the question may be. What needs are not met when you are not able to welcome the feelings? Does it make sense? If you can imagine those times you can't welcome all the feeling, you just want to run away from them. Why? What's missing? Why this time you can't do this, or this time you can't welcome that? This is just imagination or just observation of those past times that you did this. Just try to make like how do you say, I don't know how to say in English. Anyway, we just try to imagine to prevent those times. Okay, let's go. What needs are not met when you are unable to welcome feelings? What's missing, or how do you feel when you can't do it? Thirty seconds to go. Okay, so now for each item of the list you write, I would like you to observe the situation and in which way, if this happens, in which way you can maybe avoid, but if you can't avoid, at least notice this. In which way you can take the time and notice. For example, I feel this uncomfortable feeling, but this fear, but I can't take the time of welcoming it because I'm with other people or in unsafe environment, or maybe I'm tired, or maybe I'm depressed, I don't know. And so it may happen, but how can I improve the situation? In which way I can make myself at least observe? What can be maybe an attitude I can have? Maybe can be, okay, maybe I can take the habit of slowing down, count to 5, check on my body, drink water, take a walk, or all these practical things that now that you are safe at home in your room, maybe you can try to see, okay, things that you can do that are maybe possible, okay? So in which way you can notice or even improve this, okay? Let's go. Thirty seconds to go. Okay, so if those answer, this list seems plausible to you, does it make sense what you write, putting yourself in the situation of the what if I need to run away from my feeling, what can I do? This is all very like in our head in some way, but does it make sense what you write, or it's like total, you say, what this shit, total nonsense? Does it make sense? See? Okay, so I want you to read it very fast, what to, in your mind, read it and pick your least favorite or your least easy things that you can do in this list. Is there some of the item that is very deep, like unlikely that you like to do it? The least favorite, pick one and highlight it. Least favorite, you write it down, so it's something that resonates with you. You say that this list resonates. So I'm not asking you to pick something that is outside of things you write down. It's not like, okay, now pick a jump off a cliff. No, it's like in your list, pick the last favorite, even if in a moment of inspiration of the exercise, you write it down. So there is a reason, but the one that make you cringe the most, it's like, I should do this, but I don't like do this. Do you have one? No, Justine say no, it's all your favorite, very good. Because I would like you to pick one, and we are going to make it, we are going to pick the image of, or at least the idea of the image of the exercise in which, you know, the exercise I make you draw the space, like when you write what's the matter and I'm here, and in the beginning you draw this safe place in which you can welcome the feeling. I want you to take this drawing or inspiration from this inner place, and I want you to write on top of it the least favorite action to do, because often the least favorite, the more difficult. Often the more difficult is the more effective. It's like in yoga, the pose that we dread the most doing is often because it goes working on something that need to be worked on. Like if I hate chair pose, but or the twist, but I love doing, I don't know. And maybe when I practice my yoga, I want to go there, not looking for the pain, but looking for discomfort. So maybe, for example, in my list of this last exercise, I can do example for, I could take a walk, take a nap, ask for space. And then I also write meditate. For me, meditate, it's like, if I feel bad, I should meditate. No, maybe I can drink wine. I don't want to meditate. But probably I can take my drawing of the inner space, and then I can make my screenshot saver, I would say my telephone saver. I will probably write it as a reminder. Maybe meditate, no, maybe, sorry, maybe, so it's a Freudian lapsus, maybe, no, meditate is my place to welcome safely my emotion, okay? So pick one and write, this action is your safe space for welcome your emotion. And you can write it like very fast, you can do a drawing, but maybe you want to keep this in sight, at the eyes, because to make it like visible, because sometimes when we do the class, this class is, we have a lot of emotion, and then we close the journal, and maybe we don't open the journal for 1 month, but at least if we make a screensaver on our telephone, then for maybe 2-3 weeks, you will remember yourself that meditating, for example, for me, is a safe space for welcoming emotion. So if you have one, it's very late, but let's take 1 minute and do a very quick screensaver just to finish. Okay, let's go. Maybe then you can finish it better, but just I wanted to. So blah, blah, blah is my safe space to welcome uncomfortable emotion. And of course, all those activity that you write in the last exercise are your safe space to welcome uncomfortable emotion. So you can pick any of them, but it's more fun that you pick the last favorite, so that you pick the less favorite. So because if you put it there, there is a reason. Okay, so we are done for today. Life isn't perfect. No, actually, we aren't perfect. Life it's like this, and this is very cool, because as long as we can see this, we can see all the challenge, we can stay flexible, and we don't judge ourselves, and we stay kind to ourselves, and I guess it's cool. If you have a question, any? No, it's okay. So thank you for the patience today with this password, and we went a little bit of board, but because we started late, and then we were very happy to welcome Elisa, that you
Thank
can
you.
make it even late. It's very cool. And thank you, Alessandra, because it's the first time you were here. We will see each other on April 9, because so we will see each other in a very short time. I maybe will put the Zoom info only in the pinned post above the Patreon, and maybe I will stop putting it in the post in which I say at what time we see. I don't know, just to don't make a mess. Anyway, it all even out very well, thanks to Tom, because was the only person who got the password, not even me. Okay, I will see you in 2 weeks. Okay? Ciao, grazie, bye bye bye, ciao ciao.
Grazie.
Ah, there is,
Bye.
okay. Ciao,
Grazie
ciao.
mille. Ciao.
Very intense class, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ciao.